In this video, I'm going to show you and explain to you how you do a portal ritual, why you do the portal ritual, and when to do them. So let's begin with when do we actually do a portal ritual and when are portals actually open. Typically and generally, portals are open when we have double digits of numbers. So for example, like March the 3rd, March being the third month, and the third day of the third month, that's a double 3. So that would be an energy portal. Every single month, we have several different portals open, depending on what the cosmos are doing, depending on what the planets and their alignments are vibrating at the time. And so portals are generally open every full moon, every new moon. Like I said, when we have double digits in a month. And portals are also open when we have eclipses. Whether it's a solar eclipse or whether it's a lunar eclipse, it doesn't matter, but a massively amplified energy portal is actually open during those times. So when is the best time to actually do these portal rituals? On the day of, right? The day of the double digit numbers, or on a day when you have heightened energy, for example, with the upcoming solar eclipse that we're going to have on the 14th of October. This ritual is going to be a great time to do that. Now, when you are doing these rituals, just keep in mind that they're not exactly the same, because the energy is not exactly the same when with each portal when they're open. So portals really mean that you have access to a higher level of consciousness. You have access to a higher frequency that is actually being washed over the planet on that specific day because of certain planetary alignments, because of certain cosmic body alignments. So in this case, when we have the solar eclipse on the 14th, then the moon, which is going to be a new moon on that day, is going to be eclipsing the sun, right? And so the sun, the moon, and the earth are going to be in a straight line, in an alignment, which is why we end up seeing a solar eclipse. So this Ring of Fire solar eclipse is definitely, because it's in the sign of Libra, has very special energy to it. But to get more information about that, check out my other video, which I'm going to link in the description, and I'll also have it at the end of this video. But for today, let's look at how to actually do this portal ritual, because you can do this ritual literally for every single full moon, new moon. Like I said, anytime there's double digits, anytime that there's an eclipse. The only key point to remember is when we have an eclipse, whether it's lunar or solar eclipse, those days are not days to set intentions. Eclipses are much, much more about awareness. So you're not setting intentions, even though it's a new moon, for example, on the 14th of October with this solar eclipse, we're not going to be setting intentions on that day. We're just rather going to be focusing on having more awareness, becoming really, really connected with ourselves, with our intuition, with our soul, and with spirit, with God, with the universe. So any other regular full moon, new moon, you would definitely be setting some intentions. Full moons, typically we set intentions to release things because it is a completion of a cycle. So it is a time to let go, a time to free yourself up of something that you no longer want to carry, whether that's emotionally, mentally, physically, or spiritually. And then on new moons, you would typically set intentions to begin something new. So it's an intention setting for something new to come into your life, or to begin a new cycle. Every single time that there is a portal open, every single time that you want to do this ritual, it's going to be generally the same steps, with, like I said, that exception of not setting intentions on eclipses. And the reason why we don't set intention on an eclipse is because the sun is eclipsed in that moment, right? Or the moon is eclipsed in that moment. So there is a hiding, there is something that is behind the veil. So your intentions would also not sort of go out and disperse into the cosmos the way that it would normally. So it's almost like it becomes obscure, it becomes hidden. So if that makes sense, I hope, that would be the reason why we don't set intentions on eclipses, solar or lunar. Now, the first thing that we typically do is always light a candle. It's the very, very first step. So I have an altar here, and I'm going to show you how I do my process for, and what I'm going to be actually doing on the 14th when the solar eclipse happens. And I actually do this quite often on a pretty regular basis, whether we have a portal open or not. So first step is to light a candle. And when you are lighting this candle, you are inviting in light. You are setting an intention in that moment to connect with the light and to invite it into your home and into your presence. That is why you start with lighting a candle. White candles are always preferred because they symbolize and represent the cleanliness and the purity of spirit. But of course, you can use any color candle. Black ones I wouldn't necessarily use for this portal ritual, but definitely other colors. And it could be any color that you're really drawn to as well. And avoid scented candles. This is not a time to be lighting scented candles. There's a lot of chemicals and different things in that that you don't want in the air swirling around you. There's a lack of purity. So like beeswax candles would be great. Anything that is much more natural would be amazing to light at this time, but just a regular tea light will also work. So I have my altar here, and I have a lot of essential oils on my altar because I diffuse essential oils all the time. And I also have a lot of variety of incense because I burn incense on a regular basis. I also have a bundle of, or loose sage. Actually, they're not bundles, there's loose sage here. And I have my Palo Santo, which of course smells absolutely divine. It is called holy wood for a reason. So I begin by lighting my candle. And usually as soon as I light my candle, I have an instant urge to also light sage. So let's just pull out a little bundle we can use here for today. And I light my sage. Just give it a second. You see that? Little cleansing, send some cleansing your way as well. So then I light my sage. Sometimes I will light the Palo Santo, although Palo Santo takes a moment to get lit, or to ignite. So I don't always do that because you got to hover over that fire for a minute. And then I'm also going to light my incense, and I love my incense. Always try to get yourself natural incense. It smells absolutely amazing. And I love the combination actually of the sage and the incense. And I sort of like bathe myself a little bit in that smoke when I begin a ritual, just to cleanse my energy with it. The ritual itself cleanses my energy. But that is how I get my altar started. I have now set the intention. The moment I light my candle, I set the intention to invite the light into my home, into my heart and my soul, and into my mind. And I set the intention to connect with spirit, to connect with God, and to receive whatever messages that I need to receive in this very moment. So now let's move on to step 2. Now, when I come into my sanctuary, because you can do the meditation part or the tuning in part of the portal ritual either in the house or outside. If you're going to do it in the house, definitely have a little space, even if you don't have a big space, but just have a little space where you can dedicate it to specifically connecting, right? Where it's that's like your place, that's your little sanctuary where you go to connect. So for me, I come here. This is a Merkabah on the wall behind me. It is an absolutely beautiful image. It's a massive tapestry that I have in here, and I just sit in front of here because its frequency, its vibration really does something for my energy field. So if I come in and I just sit quietly, because the next part of the ritual is really just to sit quietly. And during this quiet time, what you're really doing is observing. You're observing your own feelings. You're observing your own energy, how it feels. You're tuning in to see if you can feel any type of a flow within your energy field. You're tuning into different parts of your body. Do you feel any tension, any tightness, any restriction or constriction in any part of your body? And I just kind of tune in, do like a 1 over, like I kind of start at the top of my head and I just sort of observe. So I'll sit quietly, I'll take some deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. And I can feel actually as I was exhaling that I was releasing. So every exhale is a release, every inhale is you taking in the light. And I just really connect with myself first and just tune into how I'm feeling, tune into, like I said, my own energy. And then once I've tuned into that and I have an understanding or I have awareness, it's more about awareness actually of how I'm feeling, then I can start tuning into the energy of the day itself. So the energy, like I said, you're doing this on a portal, but you don't necessarily have to do this. This could be a little ritual that you can do for yourself anytime, actually. But if you're doing it on a portal day where the energy is extremely heightened and high frequencies are coming in to the planet anyway, then now you're going to start tuning into that. So you've tuned into yourself, you're grounding yourself, you're doing some deep breathing. And with the grounding too, I just imagine tree roots actually growing out of my root chakra, so out of the base of my spine. I visualize tree roots growing out and I send them deep, deep into Mother Earth and I connect them and I can feel energy coming back in. I actually get a tingly sensation within my entire legs, within my feet, and that's how I know that the grounding is definitely happening. It's taking effect. So as I'm grounding my energy, I'm tuning into myself. Then the next step is really just to start tuning into the energy that is around, the energy that is present in this very moment, because in every moment, having awareness and tuning in is the magic of the moment. That is true presence, right? So you'll just tune into the energy and just kind of start feeling it out and start just really connecting. And it really truly becomes very second nature the more that you practice this. And especially if you're sensitive, then I think you're going to have a very easy time tuning in. So tune into the energy, feel into it, and kind of visualize the cosmos. Like I visualize the universe sometimes, and I'll just sit here and I'll just visualize the universe. And as I do that, certain messages will literally just start to come in for me and start moving through my mind. I'll start hearing certain things, or I'll get very specific pictures within my mind about all kinds of different things. So if you want to ask for specific guidance about something specific in your life, you can also do that at this time. It's a really great way to get answers and get guidance from spirit, because you're quieting your mind, because you're pushing everything else out. You're really making space to allow yourself to receive messages that you need at this time, especially if you have certain problems that you're seeking solutions for. So what I'll do is I'll just ask for specific guidance when it comes to perhaps like a video, for example. So I'll ask spirit, what topic should I talk about, or what specific things should I be talking about, and what do the people need? What do the people that find my videos, what do they need? So I'll tune into that specifically, and I will get very specific messages, guidance, talk about this, talk about that, do a demonstration of this or that. So it'll be very specific. And sometimes you have to sit there for a moment and just really tune in and listen. And other times the messages come right away. They start pouring in right away. So this is really the process of a ritual. It's not complicated, and it doesn't need to be complicated. The whole idea of doing any kind of a portal ritual, or just a ritual in general, is about tuning in. The ritual itself is tuning in, right? It's you consciously making an effort to connect to something that is bigger than you, something that is beyond you. And you're consciously making an effort also to connect to an energy that is present, that is available for you if you choose to connect, right? So there is so much and such an abundance of energy and of light beings, actually invisible light beings that are constantly around us. And to hear their messages, all you need to do is quiet the mind, right? The ego has to get out of the way for the spirit to be able to communicate with these beings, and for your spirit to actually be able to connect truly to God, right? It is always the ego that gets in the way of that. So try this. It's a very simple ritual, and you can do it, like I said, anytime. Be sure to not set intentions, like I said, on eclipses or during eclipses, but instead, during eclipses, it's going to be a very specific awareness. Like, okay, I'm tuning in, and it's like, what do I need to be aware of right now? What do I need to be aware of right now? And keep asking that question until some type of an answer comes for you. And it will come, because as soon as you set that intention, you start to shift your energy field. You shift the energy that you are vibrating out of yourself, that is rippling out of you, out into the ether. And that is going to start changing your frequency, of course, and will allow you to, it's like an opening. It opens your energy field up to receive information. So that's really what I do for a portal ritual, and it's something very simple. I've just been guided by spirit to do it this way. This is what my intuition tells me to do. So try this out, and most definitely try it out on the 14th of October. It is going to be extremely helpful, and I can't wait actually to, hopefully you guys will share in the comments to hear some of your insights, or perhaps what kind of messages came through for you. If it's something that is okay enough for you to share, and you don't necessarily need to keep it private, then I would love to hear your comments. And so drop them in below. Let me know what kind of guidance comes in for you. And also try the ritual and just see how you do. What do you experience? You know, do you have any kind of interesting sensations? Do you feel anything leave your body? Do you feel a lightness afterwards? Do you feel more connected? Do you feel more empowered, more grounded, more stable, more like connected to your core, right? Just tune in and see if you can feel any of those things. So that is it for this portal ritual video, and I hope you find it helpful. I hope you guys try it out, and I certainly hope to hear from you in the comment section below. Thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I will see you in the next one.